Sweet, thank you. You're the best. Love you. I feel like today is my job. Let's start over. Let's try that again.
So we're gonna play Marvel Zombies today, but we're gonna play like a glammed up and beefed up version of Marvel Zombies because I've printed out and painted an entire table's worth of terrain that I think looks pretty good. I'm really proud of it.
The setup that Kenny has for this game is demoralizing. I brought a box full of poorly punched out cardboard pieces and sandwich bags to try to compete with this.
Marvel Zombies is another entry in the Zombicide series known for its dice-chucking power fantasy gameplay, but this time around, you are the zombie. Take control of zombified Iron Man, Deadpool, Storm, and a whole cast of Marvel characters and fight your way through the streets, mowing down hordes of agents and heroes tasked with your elimination. Each play, you'll set up a scenario with different objectives and terrain and enter into the streets with only your fellow zombie heroes to help you.
You know, I already love Marvel Zombies. I have it all. This is insane. Like, the workings of a true madman.
This is a project I started on 4 or 5 months ago, and I was majorly obsessed about it. My 3D printer was running constantly during that time just to get like the street tiles and the building tiles and the roof tiles all built up, and then all the scattered terrain. It was pretty intense, but it's something I really love doing. If you're interested in like checking it out, it was from a Kickstarter called Sentinel City by Dragon's Rest with that's their Patreon channel. And yeah, I'm really excited to break it out and play it.
I hate this matchup. I think that this is just going to be a tough game to beat because it looks awesome. What he did is crazy. It's just going to be fun. I think the game it's going against scratches those itches too, but man, this production value. I mean, I got nothing. I'm so bad at being a board game guy. I hate it. I'm done. I think I'm gonna start playing golf. That's terrible.
I'm getting told all sorts of lore about the X-Men and the zombies and the Marvels, and this means a great deal to these folks.
I feel like it's my job today to make sure that Marvel Zombies goes on, because I'm not 100% sure that if it loses, Kenny will still be our friends. He might cry. Probably will cry. There probably will be yelling.
If they don't vote Marvel Zombies through, I will take it personally. So
I don't know what I'm doing. I picked Nightcrawler. I was basically going to pick whoever I thought was hottest or whoever I thought had the coolest pose.
Things are not going well.
We're like 3 turns in, and it's looking really rough. And I've essentially been useless. I've rolled so many die and rolled so few successes.
Dr. Doom showed up. Thor's on our butt. A whole bunch of creatures or characters just spawned right on top of us. And basically it's, while I'm in here, Patrick is our only hope, because he's almost in orange while the rest of us are barely in the yellow. So yeah, this is not looking great. And Max just said, this is ridiculous. So
I failed.
he forced me to be an X-Men character. And Kenny's gonna come in here and slander me and say, Doolin says that the X-Men are the worst of the Marvel characters. I've just never really been into them.
So we wrapped up our first game, and I kind of pushed for us to play the X-Men because, X-Men are the best. Didn't go well. I think we had some really bad draws, some bad rolls. We basically had 2 heroes where we had to fight at once that both had to get like perfect rolls every time to defeat them. That wasn't really happening. So that's one of the things with Marvel Zombies is just you can get the bad luck of the draw.
Shortest game of Marvel Zombies I've ever played, at least. We all failed, miserably, in a triumphant fashion. Not the right word there. I think we're going to run it back, and I think I'm going to pick a different hero. I don't know. I probably rolled 40 dice over the course of that game, and I probably succeeded on like 6 of them. So maybe game 2 will treat me more kindly.
But it was really fun playing on the terrain. It just gives a great sense of scale. It just makes it feel it's really cool. I don't know. I love this kind of stuff, and hopefully they do too.
I blame Kenny more than anyone, and Patrick really, because they made us pick X-Men. So this time we're not X-Men. I'm Doctor Strange, who I think is probably the best character in the game.
Well, much like Doolin trying to play every game in his collection, we failed. And much like Doolin, that's okay. That was super fun. Tell me you're 50 without telling me you're 50. I was Cyclops, the greatest hero in all the Marvel Universe. And I had 17 experience in that first game. I was killing everything in sight. So we're going to try a new composition this time. And I think it'll work. We all got our feet under us. It's a really fun game, and we did a lot of good cooperation stuff. There were several moments where, especially me and Doolin, I felt like we're really sort of vibing on certain attacks. But it's a zombie-side game. It's no different than any of them. And if you're cool with that, which I am, it's just such a good time. And, I was killing things left and right, but I was about ready to make things a lot worse for us because I was getting ready to hit the next level. But what a cool game. I hope we do it this time. Cyclops rules. Forever and ever, amen.
First ever cooperative talking head.
Yeah.
Because we
co-op.
We just messed stuff up.
We did great. I can't talk today. I think
too
it's
excited.
Silani. I'm jittery. So I am Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I had a taunt ability.
Yeah.
You're Elektra, which I've never seen played as. You rolled 2 6s to kill 2 big boys out of your space. Had two actions left.
Didn't know what to do with them.
I was like, I should just use my taunt and pull those four dudes beside us in. Killed all those guys. You went into yellow.
Yeah.
Which means you still got to do what you were like, well, I'm going to waste my turn and just use get a zombie trait.
It was fantastic.
But now you still got one.
And it was perfect.
Yeah. No, I love those little moments in this game, right? Like the little, you're like, oh, like my ability's cool, but it's even better when it's combined with somebody else's. Yeah. So, yeah, great ability. Well done.
So we just finished up our second game of Marvel Zombies where we didn't biff it. And it was a lot of fun. It went a lot better. This game was incredibly thematic because the scenario was raiding Hell's Kitchen, so it was kind of like Daredevil themed. Like you had Nelson Murdoch offices right next to a church and all that. Just the spawns of the bystanders were all very much like Daredevil centric. Like we had Karen Page spawn, which I was playing Daredevil and I had to devour her because I had to, And the right next door, next turn, Foggy Nelson spawned in his offices, and well, he had to get devoured too because that's just how the game is played. And then later on in the game, Ben Urich, their famed reporter from the Daredevil story, final turn of the game, or around the final turn of the game, Hero Daredevil spawned on the space with Zombie Elektra and Zombie Daredevil, and I mean, that stuff is just why I think Marvel Zombies is so great. That's just like the infusion of like Marvel storytelling into the Zombicide system in the way that like just creates these like great moments. So it was a lot of fun. The terrain, it's not essential by any means. It's just fun and just like fun eye candy.
We did it. Not only that, but I'm Doctor Strange and I got to Orange, and his ability is just to open up portals and send all basic troopers from one space away from the game.
Zombicide games get sort of a bad rap from some people because, it's just rolling dice and it's luck and it's just dumb fun or whatever. But I just don't agree with that. And they're just fun. This was just such a fun game. And that last, this one we just played, I mean, everybody was working together. And it felt like there was strategy falling into play.
Towards the very end of the game, we were spawning 8-9 normal troopers into a zone, and I was just going, like, devouring them into a portal and sending them away.
That play went way better. We survived, we thrived, we won, we cooperated, we killed. Very, very fun, very cool game. I'm still not sure, like, what I'd rate it. I'm still not sure where I'd put it. So only our play of Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down will reveal to me which one I'm moving forward with. It's at this point in time, the ball's in the air. I'm not sure where I'll be voting. I'm not even pulled heavily one way or the other. I enjoyed my play. I'd happily play it more. But who knows? We'll just have to see what happens.
In old Zombicides, it was like, you're in danger, you're in danger, you're in danger. Oh, now we're just killing everything and there is no danger anymore and we can just leave. In this game, it legitimately feels like you never get to that point where you're completely out of danger because the cards are just so dangerous and scary. But we got out. We played 2 rounds of it. I don't know exactly how Max and Patrick feel, but I'm hoping that it was enough. And I know that I'm already judging, trying to put Marvel Zombies through. It has nothing to do with this other game. It could be amazing, and maybe it'll completely change my mind. But Marvel Zombies is one of my favorite games ever, and Kenny, well done on the paint jobs.
Kenny's terrain is amazing, and his paint job is amazing, and Kenny is amazing, and I think he just wins the bracket as a human being. But we didn't do a human being bracket as much as I wanted to, or just a Kenny themed bracket. That would have been pretty baller.
This does move on and keep going. I have plans to keep building upon. I have plans to build an Avengers Tower tile, which is in the game, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and hopefully we can build a big map, because this was a 6 tile map. Maybe we can eventually run a 9-1. So just the possibilities are endless if it goes on. So we'll see.
This is going to be a tough game to beat, and it's up against my game, Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, which is a great area control game, and much like this game, it's all about experiencing the different characters, or in the case of Tsukuyumi, the different factions. So in some ways it's a really good matchup because both of them do very common things, and it just comes down to which game gives the better experience. Which game do you want to experiment more with the other options? So I think it's going to be a little closer, but a close competition. But man, did I have a good time tonight. This was just such a great choice. And I would expect nothing less from Kenny making great choices.
People have forgotten how good plastic is to inhale.
Tsukuyumi. We've just learned from Patrick, and it looks really freaking cool.
I don't think it's going to look good for Marvel Zombies, to be honest.
Game looks freaking sweet. I'm going to be honest with you. When I came into tonight, I was like, no matter how good this game is, I'm going to sacrifice my vote for the good of the group, and I'm going to push forward Marvel Zombies because that's what everyone else is going to want to play. I don't know that to be true, first and foremost. But secondly, if this game is as cool as it looks and sounds while Patrick was teaching us, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that sacrifice.
You ever get nervous before a game night when you're introducing a new game to people? Because that's what most of my day has been, and that's silly, right? It's just a game. We're here to have fun.
Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down is an asymmetric no-luck area majority game in which players take control of warring factions fighting against each other and a shared enemy, Tsukuyumi. Whether you're the clowns, dragons, bees, or Gundams, your goal is the same: score the most points. How you go about that, however, can vary wildly. Draft cards to deploy, maneuver, fight, and conquest, and lead your faction to victory.
There's a lot going on in this game. It's a little overwhelming because there's just so many standees and chits and stuff. Patrick handed me 2 sheets of paper with my faction's abilities, and the thing is my faction has no abilities, but it's still just lots to take in and try to figure out right from the get-go. So initially it's kind of overwhelming, but I mean Max seems super excited about it. Dylan seems super excited about it. So I think Marvel Zombies might be an underdog actually in this situation. Sports.
I'm dragons, and I get to place out new dragons constantly, and every round grow them into bigger dragons. The only problem is, Patrick said after I chose my characters, which I chose because it was the color orange, which is my favorite, he said, I'm the only character that if they kill, they get a victory point. So we'll see how that goes for me. It sounds like I'm going to be a target. But I'm dragons, so how bad could it possibly be?
You don't want it to just fall super flat. I don't think it will. I loved Marvel Zombies, and I tell you what, coming into tonight, I am totally prepared to give my vote to Marvel Zombies. This gameplay will certainly influence that, in that if it clicks with people, it's going to be tough not to get caught up in that. Max likes weird stuff. This has it. Area control, that's all dueling. And Kenny is the wild card in this one. I think he is going to dig it. It's cool. It is simple. And I get to be a giraffe, and Duelin's a dragon, and Kenny is a robot, and Max is just a bunch of bees. Wah, wah.
So, this game rules. This is a real problem. Both these games, Marvel Zombies and Tsukuyumi, are better, in my opinion, than Slay the Spire and Molly House. I really want to keep playing Marvel Zombies. I love Marvel Zombies. I've already played it a lot, and Kenny's got a lot of cool stuff right over there that he's painting. And I hate to let that weigh in, but it is pretty cool. But I really want to see more of this game. So it's just like, I wish that both could go through. But that's impossible. So yeah, I've got a real decision here. Shocking to me. I thought Marvel Zombies was a runaway leader. Who knows what happened?
The game's kind of insane. There's like literal tens and tens, maybe hundreds of little standees on the board. And every faction is just so incredibly asymmetric that it's hard to keep track of everything.
This game is nuts. There is a lot going on.
Max is playing this bug faction that basically just has a million things on the board. And unfortunately, he's taking really long turns. And that's okay. I get it. He's got a lot to do. But it's just, each faction is just so asymmetric that it's kind of like boggling to mind to keep up with. So, it's a weird game.
Smug face. Game crushing it.
Good bit of analysis paralysis happening, but I think that's something that in additional plays would kind of fall to the wayside. There's just so many little things, and especially on my faction. I think that perhaps on others it may not be so bad, but I have so many units on the board that when I get a simple action as move all your units one space, I'm activating 20 things, so that's a bit nuts. At the same time, I love the contrast between me controlling 20 plus little bugs that don't really do much, and Kenny over here controlling 3 or 4 giant End of Evangelion mechs, and Doolin controlling 3 dragons. And it's the interesting part of the game is how wildly different we are. So I'm really enjoying digging into it, but it's quite a lot.
It's a shame more people don't play this game because it's super fun. They're all getting ready to kick my You can see it building, but I got a couple things in store for this last round. I might be able to score some quick points, but Doolin and Max, you can tell they've sort of figured it out. Kenny's sort of doing his, I don't know what I'm doing confused thing. And he's just, masterminding the whole thing, acting as if he doesn't know how to play any games. So this sucks that this is up against Marvel Zombies. Don't know where it's going to go, but this couldn't have gone any better. This has been a great experience, great game. I think everybody's loving it. So...
Patrick stole victory out from under me at the final round of the game.
They're all getting ready to kick my
and it was such small things that could have gotten me the victory. I would have won the tiebreaker. I lost by 1 point. So close. Super fun game though. I really enjoyed that. I love how different the factions are, how wild the game is. If you know me, I like weird and wacky games, and this is certainly one of them. So disappointing finish to not win, but it was super, super fun.
I think for me, the amount of asymmetry is just it's a lot. It's I think Max and Doolin like it a lot, and that makes a lot of sense given that they like Root, which is just a wildly asymmetric game. My faction was pretty straightforward, and I really appreciate that it was like that. I could see like the wild asymmetry with like Max, who had just a billion bugs in the board, and Dylan, who had like dragons that were getting more and more powerful as the game went on. I don't know how, they just were. And then Patrick, who had boars, it felt a little bit unsatisfying, just because like there's just so much going on.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. Both games were awesome. I think we had a great time out there. I won. So nothing makes sense anymore. I've now won 2 competitive games in this challenge. Yeah, this isn't going well.
Tsukuyumi was amazing. Very, very fun. The asymmetry in the game was probably my favorite part of just like all the different factions, and it's actually interesting, it's compelling, it's something I want to go back to, and that is why it becomes really, really difficult, because I love both of these games a lot. It did not end well. I came in last. Really thanks to Kenny, because we had a little bit of an alliance, and then he broke it at the very, very end, like a jerk. So don't trust Kenny. That's what I learned from this experience. But I also learned that this game is incredible. It's very, very fun. I think either of these games would beat Slay the Spire and Molly House. I can't remember if I said that already, but I just want to reiterate. I also think that both of these games could have potentially gone on in like the bracket to be like some of the better ones if they were in different spots. All that being said, I have to go with my gut, and I still want to play more of Marvel Zombies, just a little bit more, and that hurts, because I do want to go back to this game, and it was so much closer than I thought it was going to be, but Marvel Zombies is going to take it. But like, if we're comparing this to March Madness, it won on a half-court buzzer beater, and it was shocking because nobody expected the game to be that close.
Tsukuyumi put up a good fight, but I'm going to vote for Marvel Zombies. I really just want to see more stuff come out for it, because I have some more terrain ready to go. This kind of give me an extra push to work on it a bit more. So I'd love to see it go forward one more round, and just kind of experience that again.
My vote, and it kind of breaks my heart, it's fun to cooperate sometimes, and I think maybe I enjoyed that a little bit more. And to know that whatever loses isn't really going to get played for a long time, we owe it to Kenny to play Marvel Zombies. It was fun. It was amazing. Breaks my heart. This is where I'm going.
Both these games were really good. A shame that they have to go up against one another, honestly. But for me, I look at it at 2 different things. On one hand, I don't want to let my friends down, and I think most of them, if not all of them, are going to vote for Marvel Zombies. On the other hand, I think that if Marvel Zombies moves on, we will not play Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down for the rest of the year. Whereas if Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down moves on, we are certainly still going to get in a couple of games of Marvel Zombies. It's just the nature of it. So for me, despite my warning at the beginning of wanting to make my friends happy and vote for the game that my friends like the most, I gotta stay true to myself. I just had way more fun with Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down. I thought it was an absolute blast. Asymmetric factions, can't wait to play the other factions as well and see what more this game has to offer if it moves on. Only time will tell. All right, that concludes our matchup of Marvel Zombies versus Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down. So we played Marvel Zombies first. We're going to discuss Marvel Zombies first. We're going to discuss that, then Tsukuyumi. Then we're going to reveal the vote and then have a bit of a reaction at the end. And a giveaway in there as well, so stick around for that. So first off, Marvel Zombies. What were your expectations coming into this game? Kenneth, you poured heart and soul and a lot of plastic into Marvel Zombies. And paint.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
It was really nice to actually get it out on the table after working on it for so long. a lot of the fun of it was just actually setting it up and like seeing like what it would look like fully realized, but actually getting pieces on the board and playing with the guys was equally fun, if not more. So, you
did an incredible job.
Thank you. That's what you're supposed to say. But it was really nice. So yeah, it's good.
The production value alone was amazing, right? And when we think of our play of Marvel Zombies, we're going to think of that terrain and the detail that Kenny put into it. But you have to look past that because it is just such a fun game. Had we been playing on the cardboard tiles,
somewhere else with that.
No, if we'd have been playing on the cardboard tiles, I think it still would have been a great experience. And
Kenny wasted his time.
A complete waste of time. He has kids to father, but he did that.
With nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show, no. But the production, as amazing as it was, it's just a fun game. And getting to try out the heroes, that was what I was excited about. We got to do a couple different ones. Everything was fun about it. And Kenny just made it better.
And we learned a lot about like our superhero blind spots or just bad takes. Like Doolin hates the X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't know why Kenny doesn't like me today.
Yeah, that X-Men.
At least it's just one day for you.
like we'll let Max off the hook because it's just ignorance, right? You're ignorant. You're an ignorant person.
That's true.
But Doolin's just mean.
Yeah, Doolin likes Marvel.
And vapid.
I do like
Is that the
Marvel.
right word?
He doesn't like X-Men.
I didn't. I said it's my least favorite.
No, I heard
Which
you
is
and I like
still
Marvel.
a trash take.
You may as well have just thrown it on the ground and stomped on
There's
it.
too many of them. That's my take.
That could be said for superheroes in general.
But it felt like, and I'm gonna just make him mad again.
We don't need to have this conversation right here. Doolin, what was your expectation coming in to Marvel Zombies?
I already loved this game, so it wasn't truly like I knew what was coming. Other than you're bored, so like that was awesome. Kenny also has way more of it painted than I do, so as much as I love playing my copy, which Patrick's right, like it's a very enjoyable game even without the paint job and with cardboard. But with all of that, it just ups everything, right?
Yeah.
Like it's an exciting thing to get to do. I've played the scenario that we played, so it was just like I don't know. I got to reimagine it in a way that makes it a little bit easier to think about, like this really long L-shaped collection of buildings rather than just one building in my mind, because that's what you see when it's just the cardboard. But yeah, no, super fun. And I also liked that like our play especially showed off how characters like bounce off of each other and work together well. Like almost immediately we got a couple of instances where I was just like, oh, if you do that though, then I can do this, and then you could do that, and like it was cool how we all worked together.
We also played twice too, because we got our butts handed to us the first game, and I think it was like 4 rounds in we lost. And we're like, run it back, which we had much better success the second time. The second time. I thought that Marvel Zombies would clear. Now, of course, there's always, if you don't know the format, there's always a default vote for each game, so there's always some chance that the other game can move on. But I certainly expected Marvel Zombies to clear through this round with relative ease. However, that was before you introduced us to Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, which really surprised me. A game I've somehow never heard of. It looks great on the table. It's got the wonderful painted cardboard, painted cardboard. What's the word I'm looking for? Just fully like arted.
No, Patrick painted that cardboard.
Yeah, I painted those. I drew those.
It's dandy.
I'm just gonna redo that whole part.
Bleeps are fun. No, bleeps are fun. Right?
But
You don't like
I don't
bleeps?
want to say I painted cardboard. Coming into this, I fully expected Marvel Zombies to sweep the floor with Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, but that was before we actually played it, and it ended up being a game that really surprised me. I had no idea what it was going to be coming in, so to have this like very wildly asymmetric factions where, for an example, Doolin started with 1 piece on the board and I started with 15 pieces on the board, not including the eggs I also placed down, and by the end of the game my faction was completely sprawled out but essentially died with a single hit, and everyone else's were these like bolstered up guys. I thought this was really great and truly surprised me. What about you all?
I really like the painted cardboard.
Yeah, I thought I did a great job with that.
I panicked. I didn't know what else to say. I was like, oh, he turned to me painted cardboard.
Okay, so this was my first game for the bracket that we've played.
Oh, I thought you meant this
Ever. I was about to say
This
the
is,
same
this
thing.
is my first time playing games, and I won.
Baby's first
Oh
one.
my gosh, Patrick keeps winning every game.
I
we
do.
play.
I win at everything.
Such a tryhard.
No, I was one to introduce this game, and I had a lot of anxiety in a way coming into this. Not only because whenever you introduce something that nobody has any familiarity with, you just don't want it to crash and burn, and it didn't do that.
No.
And then the other thing, though, is when you're the new guy, and I'm still relatively am, and these guys have been playing games together for a much longer time, and they're also incredibly competitive.
But you're so wise, Patrick.
I anticipated getting my absolutely handed to me, and I won by a single point.
I didn't count your points, though, so I'm not sure if I believe you.
I thought when we did this bracket, we said we're not going to worry about wins. That's just here for fun.
No,
It's true.
it's just important to note when I'm because it doesn't happen a lot, especially when it's competitive.
Well, you won Molly House too, man.
I know I'm on a streak, baby.
What's going on? Better him than Doolin.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think that's happening.
Kenny,
A game like this is fun though when you can see the light turn on, and I saw it quickly with Max and Doolin.
I never got there with Kenny.
No,
The cogs are
no,
still turning.
maybe.
I mean, it's
No,
asymmetry, right?
it just lit up for you two instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense for that you guys like it a lot because it's like Root, it's incredibly asymmetric, and
But
I think,
way wackier,
but way wackier, yes.
which I love.
Because I think the
Root's pretty wacky if you think about it.
Well, I think Root is just more like, I mean, it
Try
is-
hard.
Sure, but this game is wackier theme wise, but it's also just like it was really hard to kind of grok what you guys could do. And like I kind of figured it out as the game went on. But just the asymmetry is just really intense, and that's I think it's part of the fun of it. But it's also just game like I don't know if you can take too seriously for an area control game, just because, especially for a first play, just because there's so much going on, and it'd be so hard to keep track of. I do like asymmetry, but like if you kind of push more towards the Root end of asymmetry, where it's like really intense, I'm like, I don't know, because I think like it's game that requires like repeat plays to kind of really
Agreed.
get a feel for it. So. But do you really?
The moment Patrick was like, "There's a clown faction," I was like, "Well, I'm voting for this game because I want to play the clown faction." So, speaking of, we have a giveaway for every single video.
Yes.
So, Doolin, what is the keyword that the people need to comment down below to be entered in for a copy of All Plays Movie Night and a $10 Noble Knight Games
The
gift card?
keyword, Max, is painted cardboard.
This episode sponsored by Cheez-It. I wish.
Pepper Jack Cheez-It.
Did you like the pepper jack cheeses?
Yeah,
Delicious.
I don't like that much.
You should keep buying them for us.
Sure.
I especially like how they're only 20% off with code Tablenauts.
Yeah. This is our bag of votes for today. So no special parameters coming into tonight's matchup. So we each have a single vote ourselves, as well as, again, there's already one vote for Tsukuyumi and one vote for Marvel Zombies in here for a total of 6 votes. So let's see what happens. Kenny, do you want to do the honors, or are you so heavily skewed one way that you're going to be crushed?
Yeah, I will be crushed. So
Yeah.
let's someone else do it.
Okay. Doolin.
It's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. All right. I grabbed from the bottom. Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies goes on, Kenny. You
that's
don't
my
have to
handwriting.
panic.
It's
No,
your handwriting, too.
That is my handwriting. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what's really funny? I'm pretty sure when Patrick said it was his handwriting, it was my handwriting. I'm almost certain.
I had mentioned in the video, it barely won. Like I said, that if we're really comparing this to a tournament, they won on like a last second half court heave. This I could easily see being a favorite, like grow to be a favorite, but Marvel Zombies I love, and I'm too excited to play it more.
I think we know where our votes went,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Patrick?
Well, all things being equal, they're both tremendous games and the experiences were great. And so with that in mind, I had to go with production, and I voted for Marvel Zombies.
See, my reasoning, I voted for Tsukuyumi.
How could you?
I know. Here was my thought process, and I said as much.
I did kind of want to vote for Tsukuyumi just so I could write down Tsukuyumi, just in case I got pulled. Like, that would be so funny, right?
I spoke about my reasoning in the talking head, but I think that if Marvel Zombies moved on, which it has, we will not play this game for a year. I think if this moved on, we would still have played Marvel Zombies over the course of the next year.
Maybe.
So that was my reasoning. I mean, I also much prefer this game. I don't love Marvel Zombies nearly as much as them. I have a good time with it. I think your production is incredible. It is a joy to look at, but it just doesn't really do it for me. This game certainly got my gears turning, and I was much more excited about it. But I look forward to trying out different heroes and different scenarios to see if my opinion on Marvel Zombies changes much throughout the course of this bracket. How you feeling?
Feel good.
You feel relieved?
I wasn't actually that worried about it. I'd have been okay if it didn't get through. So, but I'm glad I guilt tripped you guys to vote for Marvel Zombies. So.
I was pretty sure I'd be the only one.
I'm interested to know how you will vote when this goes up against Molly House.
First impressions is Molly House. I just enjoyed that play, but a second play could change everything.
Yeah.
I'm not writing off Marvel Zombies at all. I do think
yeah.
there is room for it to grow, but we'll have to see.
I think one thing to say is like this game got by just being painted cardboard, or not. It got by just by being this game alone. I think Marvel Zombies really got through because
You put forth the effort.
yeah.
The theme
there's-
is cardboard.
You willed it.
I willed it
to the
into-
next round of the bracket.
like in sports, it's like I gave them PEDs.
Halftime speech. Oh, PED. Okay.
You got
Well, that's a leap that we were.
Yeah, not quite what I was thinking.
well, you could juice them up so they can perform at its best.
As the person who introduced this game, I will say that I wanted to vote for it because, again, I just want to play it more. Mm-hmm. Production, again, was just so amazing. You want to see more of that on the table. But if nothing else, I hope more people are aware of this game.
Yeah,
get an
100%.
opportunity.
Never
to
heard
try
of it.
So good.
It's just silly and fun, and if you like area control and you like asymmetry, it's a good time.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that wraps up today's episode of our bracket challenge. Make sure you join the Discord, link in the description below, where you can fill out your own bracket. Of course, submissions for this region of the bracket are already closed, but you can enter in the future one soon. And of course, comment down below painted cardboard for a chance to win today's giveaway. Until next time.
Oh no, Kyle's not here.
We don't say that. This is
We can say it. We're allowed to say it.
Let's get out of here.